This is the National Symposium on Girls' Education, and something that is very interesting is that it's happening at a time when we are celebrating the Gender Month. What a great coincidence.
So why is it that we care about this? Partly we care about this because the evidence tells us that one of the best investments you can make from an education systems perspective is in girls' education.
Honourable Minister, distinguished guests, thank you very much for this opportunity to address this symposium. My sincere thanks to the Rwanda Basic Education Board and to BLF for organising what I think is a really important event. But I think as Rwanda takes over the chair in office for the next 2 years from that point, it's another opportunity for Rwanda to be leading the way and driving the agenda to help progress girls' education and education more broadly across the Commonwealth and around the world. The UK is ready to play our part and to support that effort.
I am happy to be with you this morning as we participate in this National Symposium on Girls' Education, and as we discuss and find solutions to issues affecting girls' education in Rwanda. And the Ministry of Education continues to implement numerous activities to meet unique needs of girls, such as the rollout of Girls Safe Room, commonly known as the Icyumba cy'umukobwa program at different schools in our country. Also, we have strengthened comprehensive sexual and reproductive health education so that girls have the necessary knowledge to make informed choices and seek support when necessary. The initiatives that we are working on collaboratively with the Education Development Trust through its Building Learning Foundations program include identifying gender focal teachers at schools who lead girls' clubs and information sharing, open dialogue, and the prevention of sexual abuse.
And as I just mentioned, when looking at completion of primary school levels, there are different countries in the region that report into different indicators. So, for example, Somalia reports the UIS indicator, which collects feedback from household surveys. And if we were to use Rwandan data and estimates against the same indicator that Somalia uses, we would estimate that completion rates for Rwanda would be 30% for girls at primary education and 22% of boys. The amount of time that girls spend in school doesn't necessarily reflect their learning. And across the region, countries with available data show similar levels of adjusted years of schooling for girls. In Rwanda, girls can expect to spend just over 7 years in school on average, but attain learning levels equivalent to just over 4 years.
This last finding is really critical. 99.5% of girls report engaging in household chores. 51% do so before school, 91% do after school, and 43% of girls report engaging in household chores both before and after school. You can imagine the drain on girls' time this has and the limited time they have to invest in their studies.
So we need to think holistically because girls exist within an ecosystem. Yeah. First of all, a girl needs to realize herself. Who is she? She lives in the home, community, and the schools. So at the level of the girl, what do we want to see? We want to see a girl who is confident, healthy, and is aspired to learn. At home level, we are focusing on supporting a household that actually supports the girl to attend school, to remain in school, and to learn and transition. At community level, we focus on supporting the right to girls' education that is well embraced and understood by the community, and the communities themselves are actively breaking the barriers around girls' education. At school level, we have learned the importance of embracing the whole school community approach. The whole school approach to ensure that schools are welcoming environments, teachers are in school and they are ready to teach, but also they have the capacity to effectively deliver learning to girls.
Young women who had dropped out after delivering, they went through challenges, but they worked it through and went back to school, and they are doing quite well. So we really showed them that it's possible, provided you plan, you know who you are, you manage your reproductive health, you don't get into having a second birth until you really are somewhere.
The biggest challenge that we have seen is that this girl may want to go back to school. The parent may be ready to remain with the baby, but the stigma around this girl going back to school is very hard.
Once these girls and boys are studying at school, it's also a trigger to actually reduce dropout.
The challenges and the access of our girls and boys, their steps are matching. But as they reach higher grades, girls are left behind due to a number of challenges. As I said, if we want to eradicate those challenges, we have to think about combination of the approaches. So the girls' clubs is not a fit-all solution, but just a contribution. Those are the expected results. We want to keep girls in schools. We want to increase their knowledge about sexual reproductive health and rights and educational achievements. We want to recognize the best performing girls. We want those young girls to learn and discuss about the life and learning skills. And we want them to sustain their achievements.
We're going to be hearing from the Rwanda Association of Women in Science and Engineering, the African Institute of Mathematics, and Dr. Marie-Christine Gasingirwa, who are going to be tackling the theme of promoting girls in STEM.
And a girl who comes up with mathematics, that is a tomboy, not a girl. Isn't that a reality?
I went into this field and I said, I'm in here 100%. Like, I'm here to stay.
One of the key critical incidents that shaped my journey with STEM goes back to my primary 3, when a teacher, being very upset with me, threw me out of class and said I could not do maths. But then here I am today, as mentioned, having done my PhD in mathematics education, having done my first 2 degrees in mathematics, physics, and chemistry.
In terms of access to school, we want to see 40 million more girls in primary and secondary school in low and lower middle income countries by 2026. And in terms of quality, we want to see 20 million more girls able to read in low and lower middle income countries by the age of 10 in 2026. So then in terms of our priorities in Rwanda, so we're the co-chair of the education sector in Rwanda, and this is really important to us because we're very committed to supporting the ministry to improve sector coordination. Secondly, we are a main funder of GPE, which is a global fund for education. And in Rwanda, we're the coordinating agency for GPE, so we're responsible for bringing partners together. Finally, we have our bilateral program, Learning for All. It's worth £96 million and it's implemented over 8 years. It had a financial component that has concluded, but we're left with the technical assistance component, which I think you're all well aware of by now. It's the Building Learning Foundations program that we're very proud of.
a child with rejecting father or mother is likely not to perform well in schools.
We are dealing with the consequence of COVID-19 in terms of dropout.
So as the Rwanda Basic Education Board, we are working close collaboration with various stakeholders, including the hosts of this event, Building Learning Foundation, to create safe spaces for girls in our schools to be able to actively participate in their learning and increase their confidence to become the best they can be. One example that we have been working on with the BLF is the selection of gender folk teachers in every school to be the facilitators of the girls clubs, as well as the establishment of safeguarding committees at the school level. So we thank you so much for this initiative.